Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I think, with relations with Prussia being very bad and them rivaling us, we'll just rival them. This is just free infamy decay, to be completely honest. It's not much of it, but, you know, better than nothing. I think we're not going to get involved with Greece and the Ottoman Empire. I think that's a situation that's really beyond our interest. Certainly beyond my interest. We got a shortage of steamers in the customs union, so let's go ahead and move more of our shipyards. Oh, I was going to build more shipyards. That's how I was going to deal with that problem. Oh, how very smart of me. Let's see if I... I don't have enough freaking construction, is what I don't have enough of. But I don't have enough money to continue to build them up, so... it'll just be what it is. That's what I don't want these in step 1. In position 1. I do need these steel mills. So here's what we'll do. We'll put those in the very front. Oh, I'm actually... private sector is using up a bunch of my construction. That's part of what's happening. Alright, so that's how we'll do it. We'll finish out the Panama Canal, we'll do the railway, we'll do the steel mills, then we'll do the shipyards. And that'll be just fine. Yeah, it's funny, it's been a while, but I'm not as used to laissez-faire and the amount of construction that the private sector gets to use, because when it's building, it builds a bunch. Actually, it feels like it's not building that much. I guess I don't actually have the... oh, goodness. A Protestant traditionalist movement all across the Old South. Well, gosh, and also golly. What a situation. You seem very upset about something. I can't believe it. How could this happen? What can I do to make you happier? Close the border? No. No, that would be very silly. Perhaps I could enact freedom of conscience. Oh no, nobody's for that. I don't have any way of doing that. Protestant traditionalist movement is too weak for that. Privatize the education system. What if I punch myself in the nuts over and over? I should probably read some of these events. Let's just go over them briefly, because I've been kind of blasting by while I work on other things. So, Spectre Haunting the World. This is an event that's useful if you want to go to communism. So far, I haven't done a communism run. I'd kind of intended to bumble backwards into communism in a couple of my earlier reactionary runs, but it never kind of panned out. I never got big, angry communist movements, so... those just kind of went the way they went. But basically, if you fail it, meaning it gets to the top, you do this by having a lot of radicals, a lot of strong socialist, communist, and anarchist movements. Then that triggers the event A World to Win, which makes communist, anarchist, and vanguardist characters appear much more frequently. Communist is the middle-of-the-road socialist bloc. They're about workers' protections, council republic, command economy, cooperative ownership, state atheism, and collectivized agriculture. Anarchist is this sort of more kind of... when I was learning this stuff originally, we would have said libertarian communism, but libertarian has come to be synonymous with certain types of right-wing movements. But they're anti-authoritarian. They like multiculturalism, they dislike authoritarian distro power laws like technocracy, oligarchy, and autocracy. They like cooperative ownership under economic system. Army model, they like a national militia. They don't like peasant levies or mass conscription. They like protected speech. They don't like police, and they like a council republic. And then over here, vanguardists are the authoritarian communist type. Shubael Littlejohn. Interesting. Supports the liberal movement. So they like a council republic, but they like a single-party state or a technocracy. They like a command economy more than cooperative ownership. They like protectionism and isolationism, and they like collectivized agriculture. So this is much more along the lines of the mid-20th century Soviet Union. If time runs out without the bar completing, which it's not going to in our case, we're going to get an event called Firebreak, and that's going to weaken the socialist movement. We got exploiting the Amazon. If this finishes, so we talked about this a little bit. Once I've hit this button and waited a couple of years, I'll be able to hit this button if I continue to develop the state effectively. And once that's done, I'll get an event because I'll have developed all my Amazonian states. Constructing the Panama Canal, this will complete once the Panama Canal is built and working. We got another 53 weeks for that because it's really slow building stuff in Panama. Establish colonial administration in Senegal. I'm not going to do this. This is just the Scramble for Africa event. And then populating the American West. American West incorporated population is 11... our target population is 15 million. It's currently 11-ish million. So you need to increase the population of the American West by about 25%. The United States of America is a vast and fortunate land, though it is sparsely populated. We must look beyond the seas, particularly to troubled Europe, for potential settlers to work our fields and factories. If completed, we get 25 extra prestige forever. I can hit this button. This costs me, I want to say, influence, authority and influence, and it makes my states... it starts a mass migration. I'm not going to do it. It's not useful. The mob approaches. Belligerent crowds have been getting increasingly provocative when confronted by troops in Georgia. Hardliners and government are demanding tougher responses, while doves are calling for troops to stand down, and the first hopeful step in de-escalation. A whiff of grape shot saved the day once, and it can be done again. I'm telling you, we need to show strength right now. Strength? Ha! Bullets are an admission of weakness. We need to talk to show them we're not afraid. That's how we'll get them. Disperse the crowds by force. 50% chance of loyalists. 50% chance of radicals in Georgia. 50% chance of reducing Civil War progress. Order the troops to stand down. 50% chance of loyalists. 50% chance of Civil War progress going up. I'm going to do the second one. Didn't get my loyalists, but that's okay. So this movement maxes out at 75% militancy, which means it's not going to become... It's not going to pop. Gosh, I sure don't want to relax my consumption taxes, but I think I have to. I can turn off this Greener Grasses campaign for now, and I can cut just the coffee consumption tax, and that will give me enough power to suppress this movement. And that'll be fine. Should have gone with police coordination, but it is what it is. I haven't been able to get... I got a bunch of authoritarians. I rolled authoritarians, so I don't have the ability to get to, what you call it? That frickin' this. Guaranteed Liberties. Which is my go-to method for making sure that my country stays nice and stable when I'm running a liberal democratic build, which I am currently running. Oh man, Chile is getting really stonky down there. Nice. You get him, Chile. I think I'm going to throw the rest of the universities at the bottom of the queue. And the gold mines as well, so that we can get these fishing wharves done. Guatemala wants increased autonomy? No. I accidentally put this fishing wharf, this one fishing wharf, too high in queue. So I'm putting it back down with the others. I know this is riveting gameplay. In Hearts of Iron 4, they implemented a click and drag function for that, but it hasn't been working. Or rather, it's been working, but only in Hearts of Iron 4. Shipyards are under construction. Chechen mass immigration. Excellent. Panama Canal is still under construction. Still a little short on bureaucracy. Maybe we'll build up bureaucracy in Michigan. Surely I don't need that many levels. We'll just build those quickly. Bureaucracy builds really fast in the current build of the game. So that should be just fine. Wait a minute, I thought I was almost done with this. No, I got a bunch longer. Diplomatic ties with the Khalsaraj lost. There's still a Khalsaraj? Oh, heck. Golly. That's delightful. Oh, and a stunking thick Kabul. Excellent. Things are going great over there. Looks like Greece is actually losing. Well, I guess that's not shocking, right? We've got, excuse me. Britain, how did you get this territory? Britain! Britain! What are you doing? What are you doing in the Kuban? I can't believe it. Russia, get it together. They're still at peasant levy. Oh, but they're on their way to traditionalism. We'll see if that creates a situation. Aniline. Excellent. Alright, so I've successfully suppressed my Protestant traditionalist movement. That has made that has made the movement no longer radical enough to be trying to do itself a civil war. So that is just fine. How can I... Okay, so as time goes by, the women's suffrage thing will make this less of a factor. Alright, so I'll eventually be able to stop suppressing them. Diplomatic tour. The ruling petite bourgeoisie, led by the charismatic Joshua Norton, have initiated a great promotional tour. The decision to focus efforts domestically or internationally has been left to the last minute, however, and it's unclear if the petite bourgeoisie will do more for itself or for the country as a whole. Nothing wrong with a little self-promotion if it's for a good cause. And how do you determine the character of a cause? By how it ripens your purse? But by its very nature. Why, a cause of ragamuffins might well have a healthy effect on the state, and if its heart is in the right place. The tour should draw up support for the petite bourgeoisie, stronger petite bourgeoisie, and happier, or the tour should draw up support for the United States of America, 10% influence. I'm going to go for the second one. That's free influence, which again is infamy decay in my case. And I'm very glad it is. So, Peru, Bolivia is still cautious, and I can understand why. Brazil is feeling very pleased, leverage is high. Chile, leverage is high. Argentina. Relationship is good. Let's see. I could get a defensive pact. Let's do a power block embassy. Very good. Could form a defensive pact. Ooh, booming oil industry. The recent expansion of the oil rigs in Pennsylvania have boosted confidence in the United States of America's future as an oil producer. If our ancestors had seen machines powered by a black flammable liquid bursting forth from the earth, they would surely have called our technological marvels the work of the devil. Thank God we live in such enlightened times. Get every drop from those wells, 33% oil extractors through works. Excellent. Do I want to do a defensive pact? What I really want is an investment agreement. They're not interested, mostly because we're notorious, which I completely understand. You don't want a big, angry foreign power investing in you, that's for sure. Floating's doing okay. I think once that number gets below 60, I'm going to stop suppressing them. Although, actually, this is the number being affected by the suppression, I think. Yes, it's impacting attraction. Ooh. Another little by little event. This event's going to keep popping off. I'm not going to read it every time. I'm just going to say we shall make Americans yet. Again, that's going to piss off the southern planters, and I think that's great. New neighbors, new grudges. A minority group of Chechen people is recently settled in the state of Iowa, seeking a better future. However, the local Yankee elites are stirring up resentment, claiming the Chechen newcomers will destroy the traditional way of life. They don't belong here. Our Yankee customs, our way of life, they'll be lost if we let the Chechens settle, claimed a prominent landowner. His words echoed in the taverns and markets of Des Moines. The newcomers, hopeful but weary, whisper of opportunity but face closed doors and hostile stares. What's the population of Iowa? Population of Iowa is 500,000. I'm going to say we must foster harmony. Good chance their standard of living goes up. And it doesn't show in the doesn't show. I think it might have gone down, but I'm not sure. It's in the process of going up, though. I think their acceptance is just low when they're newly arrived. I think that's really the issue. Uprising in French Senegal, don't need to worry about that. Oh, sorry about that, friends. I thought I muted my microphone. So I am successfully improving relations with Paraguay. They're getting... their attitude's disinterested, which is interesting. So what's our leverage looking like for Argentina? Not very good. Their attitude is cooperative. If I just request investment rights, they want to give us investment rights, even less. Alright, now my cash flow is really Robert Borked. Which is a shame. Protests across Utah. The animist rights movement has organized mass protests across the Utah region. While the protests have remained peaceful for now, local authorities have raised concerns about possible violence. It was more people than he'd ever seen. Provo, once quiet and known for an almost pastoral character, had come alive with shouting voices and waving flags. He wondered if any of his neighbors were in that crowd. He'd always thought that he shared nothing in common with them. Perhaps he had been wrong. Allow them to air their concerns. 10% stronger animist rights movement. 2% of pops become loyal. Increased pop political strength, reduced mortality from turmoil, increased radicals from political movements. Where the authorities must halt these displays. 2% of pop's more radical. Utah gets suppressed protest rallies. State penalties from turmoil are increased. Extra radicals, even more radicals from political movements. Alright, allow them to air their concerns. That's just reasonable. The animist rights movement is very weak at this time. Nope. You cannot have increased autonomy. You will have less autonomy, and you will like it. Alright. Got a lot of influence now. Slowly working on getting my infamy down. Feeling pretty rock solid about that. Finances, of course, are doing really rough, but I'm actually not paying much in interest on account of my extremely happy petite bourgeoisie. I think I no longer need to be suppressing this movement. There's shift work, that's great. So now I've got a little bit of authority to play with. I'm going to go back to that, where was it? The Greener Grasses campaign for Panama. We're going to see why that matters in a second. And we're going to throw the consumption tax on coffee back into the action. We've developed 7th American Army. The skirmish infantry can go elsewhere, and the 3rd American Fleet. Those monitors can go to the American Navy. But she needs another leader. So you're reckless. I don't want that. You're a cruel and a convoy raider. And you're a moderate. Alright, we'll put you in. And we'll give you a little promotion. To Rear Admiral. And that'll be completely sufficient for maintaining the forces. Getting a very healthy increase to infamy, decay, and leverage generation. Oh! That's what was goofing up my... I didn't realize. This modifies leverage generation now. That was why whatever country it was, probably Colombia, fell out of... well, it was New Grenada at the time. That was probably why they fell out of my... my power block. Because I was getting extra leverage generation from my influence. Interesting. So as we continue to build up fishing resources, what are the main needs of our market at this stage? Doing pretty well for ironclads. Coal mining could stand to be increased. Grain is doing just fine, although fertilizer's a little short. Oop, this might be a general European war. You never know. Oh my God, Prussia actually got all of Bavaria. They kept Bavaria. That's bananas. King Friedrich Wilhelm von Hohenzollern. Who's your heir? Prince Joachim von Hohenzollern. Oh, an Intelligentsia market liberal. Interesting. Very interesting. Britain, do you have the ability to intervene in this war? Or are you just going to shout loudly from the shores of the Baltic? Oh, City of Plenty. The most prominent members of Washington high society have been seen organizing luxurious parties in the new and lavish urban buildings. Marble walls, shimmering stone, the noise of people coming and going brings the city back to life, and we didn't even know it was dead. Tall buildings cover the sunset, kids play with bricks, smoke blends with the clouds, and a distant bell announces the next train. Progress is coming. So once again, I have the ability to either grab 10% loyalists in the upper and middle strata, or increase the minimum expected for the upper strata in exchange for further increasing loyalists for both. The upper strata is actually not very wealthy in Washington, and increasing the minimum expected standard of living will make it 1.5 standard of living higher than what they currently have. So I'm just going to let them celebrate, because I don't want to goof things up over there. That would have created a real problem for me, potentially, if I'd done that. Alright, fishing wharves are well on their way to being created. I'm going to throw these railways at the top of the queue. There's construct the Panama Canal completed. I am now going to subsidize the Panama Canal. Oh, I don't need to. Beautiful. So now, we make ourselves a Panama Canal company. Where's my Panama Canal company? Gosh darn it. What building levels? I've got plenty of shipyards. I've got plenty of military shipyards. Paradox, please fix this tooltip. This is not telling me anything. See, this is the problem. I can't... Do you want 5 each shipyards and military shipyards in New York? Is that what you need? Let me see. I got military shipyards in New York, so let's build shipyards. I'll have them make steamships, and we'll see if that's what the game wants. I really, really want this Panama Canal Company, because I've been low on cash the whole game. need to build these railways first, though. And their corresponding fishing sectors. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'm a little short on bureaucracy. Anywhere I'm under taxing? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, we'll build up a couple of government admin in Wisconsin. Ooh, modern nursing. Oh, actually, I need to apply that before I completely forget. So, mobilization options. And I should have the ability, I got somewhere where I can build up, I think it's put in a marca that's got huge opium production capacity. Yes. Here we go. We'll just go ahead and reserve all of that space for opium production. Thank you. Obviously that's not going to get built anywhere really soon, but you know, it'll get built. Standard of living is okay. No one in sight for flooding. Alright, that's alright. These things happen. Loyalists are way up, though. Hey, investment banks. Wonderful. Increases the max number of companies. Well, let me found the companies that I am trying to found. Against all odds. Despite not enjoying full rights under American law, some wealthier Afro-American people have begun moving into neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. If we want our children to have a future, this is where we should raise them, he said. I want them to live somewhere safe. She crossed her arms. Have you seen the looks we get? When people talk about safe, they don't mean safe for us, they mean safe from us. We made some new regulations to keep the peace. Increased radicalism for open prejudice and below pops. 2% of Afro-American pops become radical. Or, they fairly earned their success with all that entails. 2% Afro-American pops become more loyal. Normally this pisses off some interest groups, but those interest groups are marginalized, so I don't have to care. I'm going to do the second one. Extra loyalists is always useful. Extra loyalists are always useful. Absalom French finally retired. Excellent. What do we have going on in the Intelligentsia now? We got a moderate. Very cool. Ooh, actually, it gives us a chance at Guaranteed Liberties. And I'm going to do it. Small stall chance. Any movements extremely mad about that? Probably should have checked first. Oh well. Egypt sides with Kaffa. Against Begemder. Interesting. I don't want that, Begemder, but it would be interesting. This is just a civil war in Hanover, which I can safely ignore. The thing about national debt is your national debt can keep increasing, and as long as your GDP is going up and your credit limit is increasing, it's not a problem. That's what I learned when I took economics class at nowhere. I've been told that is kind of true, but again, only if you're a huge great power with an extremely happy petite bourgeoisie. That's the way things go. So, our stall chance is very low. Our success chance is not huge, but we got a good, solid advanced chance here. So I'm feeling pretty confident in my ability to enact Guaranteed Liberties overall, and this is going to help us keep loyalism through the roof and radicalism down. A matter of security. With the proposal to pass Guaranteed Liberties law, members of the government have voiced their concerns about it compromising the nation's internal security. How are we supposed to prevent reactionary attacks and schemes if we have no way to access public information? How are we going to keep our people safe if the only thing we're offering them is a false sense of security? That information is crucial for our administration, minus 10% enactment chance, or we'll switch to other less intrusive methods, reduce bureaucracy, increase enactment chance. I'll go with the second one. Obviously that borks my bureaucracy, but that's okay. Let me see. We'll build up some government admin in Ohio, a little bit more in Indiana, and just a couple levels in Illinois. And we'll once again throw those at the top of the queue, but we'll put the railways in on top of them because we need those built and built fast. Because those are our subject states and we need to keep them happy. Or else they'll revolt, and that will be a huge problem. Although it wouldn't be that huge a problem. Ooh, gold depleted in Nevada. You know we can't just let them leave. And that means it's time to build up some gold mines in Nevada as well. Wow, look at all that gold mine capacity. Excellent. Oh my gosh. So what we're going to do... We're going to put the military shipyards, the government admins, and the railways in front, and then we'll build a whole mess of gold mines. That being said, we are actually at the end of the episode, my nerds, so that is all we've got for tonight. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.